You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrance for our Black and White Sports 2. Well, we're going to talk about the Damar Hamlin situation, but we're going to talk about the NFL side. The part where the NFL at some point supposedly told the players, hey, we're going to give you 5 minutes, and then you're going to warm up and get back on the field and play football. Needless to say, last night, that turned into a public relations nightmare. Now, for full disclosure on what actually happened with Damar Hamlin, it looks like he took a shot to the chest from wide receiver T. Higgins that may have stopped his heart, okay? It's a situation you see a lot more in lacrosse and baseball, but I'm not going to lie to you guys at all. That's not the first thing I thought of. I know what many of you thought of. Not going to lie, it's the first thing I thought of too. Okay, we're not going to get into that because I don't want my channel deplatformed. But I understand the thought process there. I truly do, okay? So, let's get to this because, look, this was told by Joe Buck on Monday Night Football multiple times. And now that the NFL realized they have a public relations nightmare on their hands, they're trying to come back. They're trying to walk it back. Troy Vincent, a guy I don't like at all, okay, a known racist. I'm just going to keep it real. He hates white people with a passion unknown to man. And he went out there and called the owners slavers just last week. I did a video on that. Well, anyway, point being, Troy Vincent is trying to walk these comments back. They're acting like they don't know where it came from. Joe Buck said it come from the league, okay? It came from the league. They're trying to cover their ass right now, and let's get to this. This is Fox News. NFL exec slams notion players were given 5 minutes to warm up after the Damar Hamlin incident. Quote, that's ridiculous. Is it? Is it? Because it seems like there's some definite CYA situations going on right now. Right now from the league. And I'm sure it looks terrible. I understand. There were all kinds of playoff implications tied to that ball game last night. And the NFL experienced a nightmare scenario. They had a player, and really, it's twice in 1 year. On a national stage, they had a player drop, and it looked really bad. And the entire country was watching at the same time, okay? Not to mention Mexico, et cetera, et cetera. But you get the point. Everybody was watching. Everybody was zeroed in, and it was one of the biggest matchups of the year, okay? And so the NFL is going to have a lot of fallout from this, all right? They're going to have a ton of fallout from this over time, okay? They got Tua, and now they got this on a massive stage. And even if it turns out to be some kind of a freak thing where the heart stopped or whatever, the NFL has still got to deal with it. And I don't know what they're going to do about this game. I don't. It had implications. I don't know if they agreed to call it a tie. But the point is, look, it was a terrible situation. They should have acted immediately and called the game. They knew that player was in peril. Damar Hamlin was in peril. We're all praying for him. Football is of no consequence right now. None. The NFL executive Troy Vincent shot down the notion that the players were given 5 minutes to warm up following Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin's departure to the hospital after he suffered a medical emergency and collapsed on the field. Hamlin's incident occurred in the first quarter of the game between the Bills and the Bengals after a tackle on T. Higgins. He got back to his feet, and then he collapsed to the field at Paycor Stadium. We are not going to show that video. It's out there. You can go find it on Twitter. Out of respect for Hamlin and his family, we're just not going to do it. Hamlin was down for several minutes. As medical personnel attended to him, he needed CPR and an automatic external defibrillator before he was put in the back of an ambulance, rushed to the hospital. As ESPN went in and out of commercial, I give Booger McFarland a lot of credit. He was extremely upset last night. Booger held it together. He was obviously very rattled. Booger is a more conservative guy. That's all I'm going to say. And his belief set is strong, okay? So the man was rattled last night. He was. And I thought ESPN, for all the faults that ESPN has, they did a fabulous job last night. I mean, I just got to keep it real. Some of their wokeness and all that's got nothing to do with the way Schefter and Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Susie Kober, Booger McFarland, everybody handled that. Ryan Clark talking about it with Scott Van Pelt. All of that. They deserve credit today. As ESPN went in and out of commercial, the broadcast came back and the players were seen trying to get back into game mode after witnessing the devastating scene. It was said on the broadcast multiple times that players were given 5 minutes to warm up and get ready to play football. NFL reporters caught the notion, and Vincent, the senior vice president of football operations, dismissed the notion in a media availability early Tuesday. That is much too long to wait to come out and deny that. I can tell you right now. Much too long, okay? And this is what he said. I'm not sure where that came from. Joe Buck said it came from the league, Vincent said. Frankly, there was no time period for the players to get warmed up. Frankly, the only thing we asked was that the referee, Sean Smith, communicate with both head coaches to make sure they had the proper time inside the locker room to discuss what they felt was best. Yeah, you're saying that now because of the blowback. Because of the blowback. Yeah. It never crossed. This is what he said. NFL executive Troy Vincent said there was no 5-minute warm-up given to the Bills and Bengals to get ready to resume playing. It never crossed our mind to talk about warming up to resume play. That's ridiculous. That's insensitive. That's not a place we should ever be in. It may not have come from you, Troy Vincent, but it came to somebody. Stuart Mandel, a blue check mark. By the way, I've actually got a blue check mark. Who would have thought it? Thanks, Elon. It's strange the league kept the broadcasters completely in the dark during that hour of limbo, given that the Monday Night Football television program, as much as a football game. Joe Buck said on air, it came from the league. That was a quote. If it is inaccurate, someone from the league surely could have called them to clarify in that moment. Yeah, because they said it multiple times over many minutes. The league had an opportunity to get to producers and say, look, tell Joe Buck there is no such thing as a 5-minute situation. They never did that. Imagine Andy Nesbitt. I'm not sure who you are, bud. Imagine a coworker or friend of yours needed CPR for 9 minutes in your office, and then after your boss was like, take 5 minutes, everyone, then get back to work. That's basically what the NFL just tried to do. It's total garbage. I'm not going to lie to you. I managed in the corporate world for 12 years. We've seen people on the production floor almost die and had to be resuscitated, etc., from seizures. And then I'm going to tell you, in the corporate world, you were given a few minutes and then you had to get back to work. That was just that life. That's all I'm going to say. It was that life. The hashtag NFL suggesting a return to play after 5 minutes this evening tells you everything you need to know about how the league prioritizes player safety. It was a heartless business too, by the way. I'm not even going to kid you about that. So I'm not sure where that came from. The 5-minute warm-up never crossed my mind personally. Okay, we read that. The league postponed the game without any timetable for a makeup date. The Bills said Hamlin suffered a cardiac arrest after a collision with Higgins. Quote, he is currently sedated and listed in critical condition. My understanding is they intubated him last night. I don't know for sure. And again, I'm not here to speculate on his medical condition. Like I said, the first thing that crossed my mind is the first thing that many of you jumped to. Okay, but obviously on this platform, we cannot come out here and just blatantly say that. We can't, all right? Too much hard work to turn around and be deplatformed like that. But I get it. I get the skepticism on so much these days, okay? Again, This kind of thing does happen, though, in baseball and lacrosse a lot. Okay, baseball's hit somebody in the chest, and next thing you know, boom, it stops their heart for a second, and they're out. They have to try to save them. It does actually happen. Okay, so we don't know exactly what happened. At this point, I believe most of us feel like we're just at the point where we want Damar Hamlin to be healthy, pull out of this, and eventually I would love to see the kid be able to still play football. But right now, life, actual living and life comes first. Period. Above football. This is a horrible look for the NFL. It's a terrible look for the NFL. Okay? Again, I said I worked in corporate. They're that way. It's a ruthless business. I mean, like I said, I can remember one of my guys, one of my managers having a seizure, almost dies, and we had to get him back to work. 10, 15 minutes. You got to get back to work. Nobody's shutting that building down over that. They're not. Unfortunately, that's just sort of that ruthless business, and that's also part of the reason I'm not involved with it anymore. Okay? Because they don't give a rat's F about people. All right? And the NFL's problem is there is a perception out there that they don't care about the players either. The players are widgets, and, hey, we pay you money, you shut up, play football. Right? So, anyway, you tell me what you think. Black and White Sports 2 supporters, there's not going to be a notification on this, I don't think. So, it's a while before I get one. I'm just going to release it, share it on community pages. Peace, I'm out. Till next time, Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First, 25% off USA First. Go now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.